What is something that will be normalized in 10 years from now? I'm trying to manifest 4-day work weeks. And after that 3-day work weeks, let's get it. Old people gaming. I can just imagine a retirement home sounding like a COD lobby. Margaret, stop freaking spamming RPGs, you dusty whore. Benjamin, stop using the riot shield, you pussy. Nurse, where are my animal style fries? Tits or get the frick out. Something that dawned on me a few years ago is that we're not too far off from having an entire generation where many will have never had their fingers be burned by a light bulb. Wait, I'm confused. Why not? Is there something replacing light bulbs? A lot are transitioning to LED. LEDs don't give off heat. I mean it does, but it's negligible. Tons of liquids being bring your own containers at many chain grocery stores. This was somewhat a thing before self-service grocery stores. In addition, beverage containers did have deposits and were washed and refilled by the manufacturer well into the 1970s. Having weird embarrassing videos of yourself as a kid on the internet. It's already normal. But most people hide them or actively avoid talking about them. Hoping an employer doesn't find them. Hoping your parents don't see them. In 10 years these videos will be so common they'll be something we all laugh together about rather than hide them away. Parents will have them. Kids will have them. Give it more time and grandparents will have them. It's gonna be wild to have such high-def footage of old people when they were young. There will be so much footage, and of much better quality. It's crazy to see a picture of your grandparents and witness how they looked when they were young. Now we'll be able to see how old people acted when they were young. I just hate that I'll be one of the first old people to have that. From our perspective, yeah. From the future whippersnappers' perspective, they won't really care as much. Everything will be VR or AR or holograms or whatever. Those old dusty HD 2D videos won't be as interesting. Plus, don't digital files degrade over time or something? Or did I just make that up? Working from home. I hope so. I mean, 5 days a week was rough sometimes, but 3 at home and 2 at the office would make me happy. This has been my life since the 20th of June 20. Add in some pick up ultimate frisbee during lunch and it's pretty incredible. You'd have to damn near double my salary to get me to take another job. I would kill for that kind of flexibility. I severely underestimated how important job flexibility would be to me before I had kids. I chose to go into healthcare instead of computer science, and now I have the worst of both worlds. I make half as much as a CS grad. I have to work nights, weekends and holidays. I have to sleep at the hospital when on call $4 to an hour. And worse of all, my job has zero flexibility because healthcare is always chronically understaffed and overworked. Using mobile transactions instead of credit cards or cash. Ordering food, groceries and items online and having them delivered in just a few hours, and buying things online the same way you would when you walked into a normal store. All of that stuff is normal now where I live. It's been gradually phased in over about 5 years. Sometimes I forget just how goddamn convenient it all is. I'm trying to remember the last time I paid for anything with cash. I've had the same $40 of emergency money into my wallet for several years now. It's all tap with the Apple Watch, or, for larger purchases, inserting the credit card. Even vending machines take tap. Can't imagine going back. There's just something so satisfying about going into a store and picking out things from shelves. But also I took full advantage of everyone offering deliveries or contactless pickups because of the pandemic, and I probably saved a lot of money by not being able to impulse buy things as I walked by them in an aisle. I'm hoping a stronger focus on mental health. I think we're close, but there's still a stigma with therapy and other mental health treatments. My wife just graduated as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. The amount of people who self-medicate with alcohol, drugs, activities, etc. is staggering when you consider how we all have issues. I grew up in a house where you just deal with it or swallow it. I spoke with someone the other day who truly benefits from therapy, but her final statement was that it's so expensive. I came to Germany and was shocked to see that, from my experience and perspective, doctors don't care about mental health. I was suffering a lot after giving birth to my child and doctor just said yeah, drink a chamomile tea, rest and take a walk outside, catch some sun. Other doctors mentioned catching some sun and taking vitamins and tea to cure depression and intrusive thoughts. I asked paracetamol and they gave me a herbal drop instead, homeopathy. Because if I have an excruciating headache, I just need tea and chill out. It really is like that. I grew up in Germany. Back pain? Go for a walk. Rash? Some fresh air. Depressed? Take a walk. At least they give you a sick note, no problem. Then you can walk your butt off for 2 weeks. I love my country, but doctors really are sometimes questionable. Dentist butchered several different things that ended up with me in the ER because heavy blood loss after a car crash, had neck and back pain. Only got told to wait for it to go away on its own, until it got so bad I literally collapsed at work when the pain shot into my back. Just recently I had a sinus infection, moved into a tooth infection, and I had to beg on the 3rd visit after days in insane pain for him to finally give me some painkillers and antibiotics. New dentist then gave me some proper antibiotics and painkillers and it finally went away. Mental health is not even a topic really. Nobody gives a frick. You either work or are lazy disabled. That's how it works. Nobody cares as long as you can work, and especially don't care when you can't. Adults living with their parents in America. £400,000 for a 2-bedroom flat on the outskirts of London. And you still probably have a 1-hour commute each way. 4-day work week. Promise? Haha, hopefully. They apparently experimented this in Scandinavia and the results were promising. I don't know if it will be an industry practice, but I do think it'll be normalized. I really hope you're right, but I'm pretty confident that's not happening within 10 years. 2031 calendars. You make a valid point. I got fired from my job at the calendar factory a couple weeks ago, and all I did was take a few days off. But it's alright, I think I'm going to become a mirror washer. It's something I can really see myself doing. Hey Dad, I see you figured out the internet. I'm buying some now to sell later. He's scalping calendars. Get him. Kissing the homies goodnight. On the mouth. Peanuts. Shopping in VR environments. Try it on. No salesperson. In the comfort of home. No salesperson. I don't know, I think there'll be some kind AI clippy being like, I see you're looking for a laser saw. Would you like some help with that? Virtual shoppers who viewed this item also enjoyed. Homes being the family home and passed down from generation to generation. That's assuming you have a home big enough to house 3 generations of a family in it. Not at the same time, but there are plenty of homes that stay within the family due to a variety of reasons. I live in a rural area, and the next 5 houses down my road are owned by the same family. Great-grandpa owned the land, and has given chunks of it to his family to live on. Great-grandma passed away, so the granddaughter and her family moved in, keeping it in the family. Being legally allowed to marry as a disabled American. Right now, certain types of disability benefits get revoked if you marry, forcing disabled people to make the choice between marrying and access to healthcare or the basic payments that let them survive. In some states you're even not allowed to live in the same household as your partner, because it's a common law marriage. Pretty much every time I bring up the fact that I can't marry, it's met with a "how I didn't know that" shrug, and it makes me want to bang my head against a wall forever. There's currently a SSI bill that may get passed, which removes the marriage penalty in some circumstances, but not all. Maybe in 10 years I'll be able to marry. It'd be nice. This is insane. I had no idea. I'm so sorry that you've been so egregiously failed by the system. Is there anything people can do to help? Anybody that we could try voting into any level of office that also cares about this issue? This just seems like an incredible oversight by our government, and it's something we should all be aware of if and when our ability to vote it into reality comes along. Not owning a home. Where I live, the average house price just went over £500,000. Average rent is £1,300 per month for a 1-bedroom apartment with no car parking space or outside area. Just get your head down and save up for a year for a mortgage. Like we did say the older generation, lol. I live on a very small island. A lot of people will have to move away to be able to afford just to live. But that will be moving country, not just moving elsewhere in the country they grew up in. I built a home in August of last year. 550k USD. Today it's worth 700k. Less than a year. I thought I was building when the market was already high. I really thought I was building at the bubble. Similar thing here. Over the last year property prices went up by roughly 15%. Rental prices went up by 50%. Essentially pricing a huge amount of people out of being able to buy. It's going to end up like a feudal level of property owners and renters at this point. In my area, homes are selling for hundreds of thousands more than the asking price. Even crappy little bungalows in second-rate suburbs. Some homes are selling almost as soon as they're listed, snapped up by developers and landlords without even an inspection of the place. And that's the crux of the problem. Banks and big companies are snatching up as many houses as they can to turn into rentals, thus pricing average families out of home ownership.